Alright guys, it's Commander Ironwolf here. I'm going to do my quick review of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It is, by far, a fun game, be sure. But, it has its problems. Like all games. There's never a game that is completely perfect. So, here I will tell you my quick problems with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. 1. Microtransactions. The game is meant to be played where you explore everything. That's how the progression is geared out to. You can obviously tell by the way they have your experience and your drachmae come in, and it's meant to be able to where you go around and explore basically all of everything. But, hey, if you want to just go through the quick thing real quick, you can get a boost of how much experience and drachmae you get throughout the game. For like, what, $10? Let me check. Yeah, it's like $10 for frickin' a boost in drachmae and experience. In my opinion, that seems a little predatory to people who just want to play the story and be done with the game. Spoiler alert, if you actually haven't played the game yet, to actually completely 100% complete the game, you have to be almost level 50. So it really doesn't fucking matter. If you just want to breeze through it anyways, you still got to go around and do some extra stuff to get up to that level to be able to perform that mission. And I have no problem with that. If you weren't selling boosters to people that are, let's say, less patient and less willing to play the game, or just don't generally have the time to play a full-on 80-hour game, because that's about the time I put into this. Full-on 80 hours just to get to the end. I'd probably put a good another 10 hours into it afterwards. So, back to my point on the whole microtransactions. It just seems very predatory to me. And I know it's a whole buzzword and everything, but it's not like EA's loot boxes or anything like that, but it is... It does get like to where it's like, come on, man, come on. Yeah, let me... No items to select. That sounds odd. Another thing. There's this character, Cleon, who basically takes over as the leader of Athens after Pericles dies. And since he takes over, there's this thing that's like where he where some no it was a theater actor during one of the missions says he calls him the Orange Ape, which Cleon is brown hair. Not tan at all compared to the rest of the fucking cat-like members of Greece in this. He's an Athenian, he's kind of sheltered and pale skin compared to the rest of the people in Greece. That's meaning he's darker than me, but not as dark as them. But they want to call him the Orange Ape. I don't know where they get the whole orange from, so other than the fact that they're trying to allude to him being a Drumpf stand-in, that's the only reason they would drop a line like that. And he also, during the plague in Athens, because this is a historical event, I'm not spoiling anything, there was a plague that runs through Athens, and it puts Athens in turmoil. He's rallying a crowd to try to get support for him to become the next leader of Athens. And he says something to the degree of, make Athens great again. It's like, oh, is that how we're going with it? So I mean, I tried to capture the fucking footage, like a screen capture for of like record that little section, but for some fucking reason Xbox would not do it. I tried to do it like 3 times, like record that past 15, record past 30 seconds, record past 30 seconds. I kept on trying to do it with that, on my Xbox, not wanting to record it. Went back and tried to look for it, and just not there. I was like, conspiracy. I really doubt it, but no, it was just very highly convenient that my recording on my Xbox did not want to work right then. Alright, on to the next thing. Well, yeah, basically they allude to him being Trump, and then they say how he basically ruined Athens, and he's... Spoiler alert, skip a couple 30 seconds ahead if you don't want to hear this. Spoiler, he is one of the sages of the cult of Cosmos. So, yeah, so it's kind of like, he's made to be this big bad guy, and he is alluded to being the same person as Trump. And it's just like, really, come on, that just seems too highly political. There was one more thing that was kind of bugged me about the fact that Cassandra, instead of Alexios, is the canon protagonist of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I played as Alexios. I played all the way through as Alexios. I played as Alexios. The whole story made sense playing as Alexios, and your sister is the one that was freaking indoctrinated by the cult. You know why? Because it's ancient fucking Greece. You know, most men that were mercenaries in ancient Greece were fucking men. So, it just goes to show that I feel like I don't really like understand the era they're in, and the fact that they treat both protagonists. I understand from a gameplay perspective, you literally just skin change. Okay, move on with the story. But I have a problem with that because in ancient Greece they wouldn't just be a skin change, and they would act exactly the same. Yes, all the player romances are player sexual, which I fucking think that's great. That's great, because actually in ancient Greece they did have were very open about sexuality and didn't really care. But that's not the point of what I'm trying to make, is that if you were a female mercenary, people would definitely try to underestimate you. Unless you had this reputation. And even then, most everybody's not going to hear about your reputation, so they're going to treat you like, oh, well, you're just a woman. Well, what are you doing? But if she was indoctrinated by the cult, it doesn't matter the fact that she's a woman. That the fact that she already has this legacy in her that they can use to control her, and that she actually ends up being cultivated into this badass hero. Well, anti-hero, villain, whatever. Makes sense from a real-world perspective. Yeah, the cult would... Alexios would have no problem being a Mystios. And then Cassandra would have been raised by the cult, and her gender wouldn't really have to play a factor into it. But no, they had to go and make Cassandra the canon protagonist, and Alexios was actually raised by the cult and all that jazz. Kind of... It didn't really make me mad, but it did just... it was like, really? Come on. Do we have to make the female character the main character just because... What? Social justice? Other than that, gameplay's great. There's only a few things in this game that actually even tries to push this agenda. So, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's freaking phenomenal game. Like I said, spent 80 hours into it. It's phenomenal, fun game. I like how the combat system is just expanding upon Origins. It's a great combat system. You can pretty much, if you played Origins, you know what it is. It's similar to, I would say, out of any other RPG type games, it would definitely be most similar to The Witcher in combat. Just no combos like Witcher's doesn't have combos, but it has more so than this does. It's like the Assassin's Creed's light attack, and then you can throw in some shield breaker, block breakers, whatever the fuck. Shield breaker, I think, is the best term for it. And I think that would be the exploration. Yeah, you can go basically. It's huge fucking world. So much to look through it. I probably haven't even gotten halfway through it. They brought back naval combat and actually exploring the seas. That's freaking awesome. Black Flag is one of my favorite Assassin's Creeds, and I love that factor of it. I think there's only one more upgrade I have on my ship to fully upgrade it. But again, I'm already finished. I probably won't be going back to too much to it. Maybe for special events every once in a while. Because they're going to they're doing that where they'll have special events on weekends to where you can get special skins for your ship and stuff like that. Which I'm like, I'm interested to do that because it literally like probably take you 30 minutes max to get the skin of playthrough if you're already at max level. So it's be like hop in real quick, grab it, and get the fuck out and do something else. Do that anytime. It sounds fun. And they got the DLC for it. Sounds promising. It's basically they're doing episodic thing, which I'm kind of iffy on. But, I mean, for long-term prosperity and everything like that, that sounds like a good benefit towards them. I just don't see how it's any different than just, why not just release the whole thing and then, because it's only 2 DLCs they really have, but they split each DLC into 3 parts. So, technically, you'll get 6 different releases of each thing. To which it makes sense to some degree, because, it keeps DLC flowing in, and there's no really, like, gray area. Yeah, you'll probably beat the DLC within, like, a week, like, maybe a one-day sitting. You'll just sit down, beat that part of the DLC, well, the first part of the 3 DLC, and then nothing, and then come back to it later. It makes more sense to keep the game viable, but it also, I'm the type that just probably will wait and just breeze through it all. Other than that, I say give the game a total of 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. Because the political stuff definitely brought it down a full point. The political stuff just brought it down a full good point. I just like knocked off 1 point for that. 0.5 because, of course, it's not a perfect game. The gameplay is not the best ever. So I would have gave it a 9.5 if it had cut the political shit out of it, I would have gave it a 9.5. Because the political shit's not super heavy, but it is in there, and it is a bit annoying. So, yeah, final score, 8.5 out of 10. And that's my review for Assassin's Creed Origin. I know it kind of ran a little bit long there, but I'm probably going to edit some of this shit out. Alright, so that's Commander Ironwolf signing out. You guys have a nice day. Like, subscribe, comment, and have a good fucking night.